It's called In the Court of the Conqueror. That's taken from a book by Walter Echo Jr. When I read In the Courts of the Conqueror, I just knew I had to do something about it. Reading that book, my interest in law, my interest in history, my interest in identity, all my works have really involved a lot of research. And the more I do, the more I become more curious, but also more politically committed to trying to do something to change it. It parallels two things. It's about how the judicial system, the courts, have diminished tribal sovereignty of Native nations over 200 years. And also a parallel story about my own dealing with my family's embedded racism against indigenous people and my own challenges and struggles of really sort of just affirming my own indigenous identity. The production that people will see is a collaboration with me and Patty. I knew I wanted to film things on the land of these Supreme Court cases. Patty agreed to be a part of this, but then she just took it in a whole nother place. I did not imagine at all.
I had seen his previous work, and he had seen some of my previous work, so it seemed like a good collaboration in terms of how I particularly like to use visual imagery to build the content.
It's not just simply a documentation of something. It's actually artistic and quite beautiful.
I wanted actually the images to be as if you were sitting inside George's head. I really wanted him to interact with himself in the video. Honestly, there's just a knowledge that I think he brings to the piece, which is just some historical facts about the definition of sovereignty and how through history the colonization of America really is not there's not an end process. It's continuing today.
I really want people to understand is identity and indigenous identity. And what I've found from doing the piece, when we've traveled, I mean, there are so many people who are tribal members and people who are not tribal members, but Latino, Latina, Latinx identities we've really struggled with in all our countries around, European colonization and how it's erased our indigenous roots in so many ways.